Transit Mars, which has been camping in the sign Taurus ever since its arrival on August 11, 2022, will move into the sign Gemini on October 16, and then it becomes retrograde on October 31st. In retrograde motion, it moves back into the sign Taurus again on November 15. From November 15, it will stay there in the sign Taurus till March 14, 2023, when it moves into the sign Gemini again. People are terrified of this long staff transit Mars in Taurus. In this video, I will try to explain its repercussions in detail for all 12 moon signs. As you know very well, transit Mars is expected to give good results during its transit when it is placed in the 3rd house, 6th house and 11th house from the natal moon. For the people of moon sign Pisces, Taurus becomes 3rd house. For the natal moon sign Sagittarius, Taurus becomes 6th house, and for the natal moon sign Cancer, Taurus becomes 11th house. This means for the people of moon signs Cancer, Sagittarius and Pisces, the long staff transit Mars in Taurus is expected to give good results. But you must be knowing this is the basic rule. But for the transit Mars to give its good results, there are two conditions. The first condition is transit Mars should not be a victim of Veda. Again, when you go through your natal chart, you will find Ashtakavarga charts. In the Ashtakavarga chart of Mars, in the sign Taurus, there should be minimum 4 points. Ashtakavarga means 8, and any sign cannot have more than 8 points because these are the beneficial points. So 50% comes to 4, and if you find 4 points in the sign Taurus in the Ashtakavarga chart of Mars in your natal chart, then transit Mars will give good results for these 3 signs. Here I have to say something very important about Veda. Veda works as an obstacle for both good and bad. For example, if the transit of a planet is good, if there is a planet in Veda house, it prevents the good things. If the transit of a planet is bad, and if there are planets in Veda house, they can stop the bad things also. So Veda works as an obstacle for both good and bad. When we think of Veda, when transit Mars is in 3rd house from natal moon sign, 12th house from the natal moon sign becomes Veda. If there are planets in the Veda house, transit Mars cannot give its results. When transit Mars is in 6th house from the natal moon, 9th house from natal moon becomes Veda house. When transit Mars is in 11th house from the natal moon sign, 5th house from the natal moon sign becomes Veda. So if you want to get the transit results from Mars, there should be no Veda. That is the first condition. The second condition is the sign Taurus in the Ashtakavarga chart of Mars in your Janma Kundali should have a minimum of 4 beneficial dots. That is 4 benefic points. Once these 2 conditions are met in any natal chart, transit Mars will give good results for the 3 moon signs of Cancer, Sagittarius and Pisces. For the moon sign Pisces, Taurus becomes 3rd house and transit Mars is expected to give good results. But from the moon sign Pisces, 12th house, which is Aquarius, becomes the Veda house. To get full results of transit Mars in Taurus, there should be no planets. On January 18, 2023, transit Saturn enters Aquarius, which is a Veda house for the people of moon sign Pisces. So, the expected good results of transit Mars in the 3rd house will come to the natives on or before January 18, 2023. Because once Saturn enters Aquarius, which is a Veda house for the moon sign Pisces, Mars cannot give its good results. But the people of moon sign Pisces should also ensure that there are 4 points in the sign Taurus in the Ashtavarga chart of Mars in their natal chart. Once these two conditions are met successfully, they can expect good results to happen from the transit of Mars on or before January 18, 2023. And what could be the good results? The natives will get a big boost to their confidence. They can improve their relations with friends, colleagues, neighbors, and siblings. They can turn adventurous. They may clinch agreements on purchase or sale of lands or related properties. These good things may happen during the long staff transit Mars in the sign Taurus. Now, let us think of the moon sign Sagittarius. From Sagittarius, transit Mars would be sitting in Taurus and it becomes 6th house. So it is also good. But again, these two conditions should be met. There should be no weather and the sign Taurus should have minimum 4 points in the Ashtavarga chart of Mars. When transit Mars is in 6th house from the moon sign Sagittarius, 9th house from Sagittarius becomes Vedha house. There should be no planets. If you take a look at the transit of various planets, you will not find any planet in the Vedha house, that is in the 9th house from the moon sign Sagittarius during the 6 months of Mars' stay in Taurus. So, Sagittarius moon sign people are expected to get full results of the transit Mars in Taurus. But the only condition is there should be minimum 4 points in the sign Taurus in the Ashtavarga chart of Mars in their natal chart. Thinking of moon sign Cancer, Taurus becomes 11th house. When transit Mars is there in the 11th house, 5th house from the moon sign becomes Veda house. There should be no planets to get full results. But when you take a look at the transit of planets from November 11 to December 15th, you will find planets moving in the Veda house. So, people of Cancer moon sign are expected to get some good results from the transit of Mars, except for the period between November 11 and December 15, because that is the Veda period. Now, when we think of the other signs, Aries, Taurus and Leo, it becomes the 2nd house from Aries, 1st house from Taurus and 10th house from Leo. Transit of Mars in these houses is totally unfavorable to these 3 signs. When you take a look at Veda houses, you will not find any Veda for these 3 signs. So, the unfavorable results of transit of Mars in Taurus for these 3 signs are expected to be fully effective, and the natives of these 3 moon signs should be prepared to experience some negative consequences during this 6 months stay of Mars in Taurus. But if they can find some 7 to 8 points in the sign Taurus in the Ashtavarga chart of Mars, they can avoid unfavorable happenings during the transit of Mars. When we think of the rest of the signs, Gemini, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Capricorn and Aquarius, you will find Veda in shape of Rahu. Transit of Rahu in Aries works as Veda for all these 6 moon signs. Despite the transit of Mars being unfavorable to all these moon signs, the adverse happenings or unfavorable happenings may not take place for all people of these moon signs because of the Veda. Thank you for watching and God bless you.